It's time for the Coach's Corner Show with your host, Pat Disabato.
Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner Show brought to you by Beggars Pizza. I'm your host, Pat Disabato from the Southtown Star newspaper, and we are at the Beggars Pizza location, 127th and Kedzie in lovely Blue Island. Great show for you tonight, folks. We're going to have on Marist boys basketball coach Gino Nolan. Redhawks are rolling, man, 15-4 on the season. Big wins last week over Nazareth and arch rival Brother Rice, which I was at on Tuesday. They are traveling to Chicago Heights to take on number one Marian Catholic Friday. Gene is 231 and 161 in his 14th season at Marist, doing an outstanding job. Gene's one of the best coaches in the area. All right, folks, we are going to go to a Beggars Pizza timeout. Remember, Valentine's Day right around the corner. Beggars Pizza hook you up with a nice little heart-shaped pizza, little za, lasagna, all that good stuff. And Super Bowl coming up this week, man. Beggars will hook you up. All right, folks, we come back. Gino Nolan, Marist boys basketball, will be our guest. Stay tuned.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggars Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
I'm a pepperoni sausage, green peppers and onions. Don't forget the extra cheese, large pizza. Oh, by the way, I also make house calls. Beggars Pizza, we lay it on thick.
For over 60 years, Standard Bank has been a part of your neighborhood, supporting sports and other activities, working with communities as they grow and thrive, helping businesses and families to reach their financial goals. In communities all over Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana, your neighborhood is our neighborhood. We can help you reach your financial goals by growing your money with My Green Checking. Interest checking with no minimum balance and no monthly fees. To learn more, visit standardbanks.com. Member FDIC.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest Athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
Hello and welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show brought to you by Beggars Pizza. And our guest this week, Marist boys basketball coach Gino Nolan. Gino, how's it going, buddy?
Great. Thanks, Pat. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on board again. A veteran of the Coach's Corner Show, that's for sure. Redhawks off to a great start, Gene. 15-4, man. You lost at least 4 starters. I think you lost 5 from last year, though, right? Including 2 Division I guards. Just a reload situation. Are you surprised at all at this 15-4 mark going in, or what, man?
Well, anytime you lose 10 seniors like we did, you not only lose, the kids that started, but the kids that made that team, really good team, kids that were coming off the bench and kids that really, had your culture, in every way, Marist, that really defined who we are. And they did that for really 3 years, and then they graduate. I don't think you really know what you're going to have back, but you know that you have kids that were in supplementary roles that looked up to those kids, and then now it's those kids. It's their turn to play, to lead, and we've gotten a lot of that. We have unbelievable leadership. Our 6 seniors have been, terrific. Nick Wisher, Ryan Tucker, Brian Holland, Andre Turner, Kenny Rivard. Brian Sturba, these kids have done a great job of really leading our younger kids in the way that we need it done, and they've just been terrific.
So what do you think the key has been to this team? The seniors, just basically how they've been unselfish and leaders here, or what?
Yeah, as leaders, they've been great. I think we've formed a real defensive identity for our team. We've guarded as well as we've ever guarded, in our program here. Kids that, individually, team defense, rebounding behind it. And I think we've had just enough offense, offensive balance has really helped us.
Yep.
And I think the combination of those two things has been successful so far.
Would you say that the team has exceeded your expectations at this point, or what?
Well, I think because you don't know what you have when you're coming back, because you graduate so many kids, you're not really sure of the how you're going to do it, or where it's going to come from, what individual players and things like that. But I do believe, last spring and in the summer, it was a team we really believed in.
Yep.
And it was a team that really believed in each other. And you can sense that. I mean, you can sense it before November rolls around. And we sensed it with this group, I think most importantly because they sensed it between each other. And so I wouldn't say that we're surprised. I would say that, we're happy for them because I think they've worked for it and they've earned, any little success that they've had so far. I also think that they're looking forward to hopefully having more success.
Yeah.
And I think they understand the work that's going to come with that. They have great work habits, these kids, and great teamwork. It's a team-centered team like we've always been fortunate to have here. And, these kids, like we've always said here, Pat, that, when kids graduate, that our culture is never going to graduate.
Yeah.
The things that make us Marist. And, these kids have stepped in and really, taken ownership of that, and I've done a great job doing it.
Yeah. Well, as a coach, how different is it for you? I mean, for 3 years, you had L.J. McIntosh, and you had Lexus Williams. Those are two guys that are playing D1 ball right now. So you had those two guys for 3 years, and they were your primary scorers for the most part. Now you've got such a balanced attack. When I watched you against Royce last Tuesday, I mean, it seems like you got 5 guys. You got a couple guys that come off the bench that can contribute heavily to this scoring situation, man. So is it different for you coaching-wise, or what? A little bit more fun?
I don't know if I would describe it as being easier, harder, more fun, less fun. Our teams the last couple of years have been unbelievably fun to coach and great kids. It's a team that we're getting scoring from different ways, and I do think that poses a little bit of issues for teams defensively, in that they might not know who to key on. So the individual balance, I think, has been really good for us. I also think that it's coming from different areas of the floor, so I think the floor balance helps. We've had interior scoring, we've had scoring from the perimeter. I think we've shot it probably better from the perimeter than we thought that we might, and we've been able to do that consistently. And then inside with guys like Nick Wisher and Kenny Rivard, Kevin Lerma, Ryan Tucker, that kids that have really been able to score inside a little bit, has created floor balance, which I think is also hard to defend when you have both individual balance and floor balance of where you're scoring from. So that's been helpful.
Well, when you see this through 19 games, who has surprised you most? Is there any one or two players that have exceeded your expectations at this point, or what?
Pat, I would probably say everybody. Not exceeding expectations, because when you graduate so many kids, these kids were always capable. They were just in roles that were, supplementary to the other kids that we had graduated last year, and they did a great job at that. Unbelievable teammates. And now they've just stepped in and done another unbelievable job, just in a different role. So I think everybody has really stepped into the role that has been defined for them this year, and they've done it well. And not just the kids that are scoring, or not just the kids that are playing, but unbelievable senior leadership in our locker room, getting our kids ready for practice. Kids are always there early for practice. Kids are staying late after practice. And those roles really matter. They matter in team sports. They matter to get better as years go on. I think they matter in winning not just games, but winning championships, cutting down nets, all of those things. We think that championships are won there, more so than just the kid that might be the leading scorer at the end of a game. And every one of our kids has done that for this team. It's just been a great thing to coach.
And I'll tell you, I think it says a lot too, because of the smooth transition and the way these guys have stepped up into these primetime roles. It probably helped practicing against LJ and Lexus, for those years, and I think that probably expedited their, great transition. Great
competition they played against, and then they saw that great leadership that those kids gave to us, and so it's been a great year. It's been a lot of fun. We do hope as coaches for these kids that they've had a great experience. You can sense it. We hope that as coaches we can have some sort of big game or big win as we get closer to the end of the season, so they can attach a great memory to the great experience that they're having with each other. So as coaches, we're certainly hoping for that for the kids.
Well, we're going to talk about that potential for that great memory because the old Red Hawks traveled to Chicago Heights and Marion Catholic and Tyler Eulis on Friday. We're going to talk to Coach Nolan about that matchup and other things remaining in the season for the Red Hawks. So we're going to go to Lisa Thomas Salon timeout, folks. When we return, more with Coach Gino Nolan from Marist. Stay tuned.
What teen doesn't want to be in style with the latest trends? What teen doesn't want the hottest cuts at an affordable price? It's time to get noticed with the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club, where girls get a cut and style for just $27 and guys get a cut and style for just $17. Get the right look for the right price at the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club. Your style, perfect style. Only at Lisa Thomas Salon.
If you're looking for delicious barbecue in the Southland, no one does it better than Bona Pit Grill and Smokehouse in Palos Heights. Stop in and try our mouth-watering ribs, tender piled-high pulled pork sandwich with homemade chips, or a perfecta combo in our year-round indoor-outdoor patio. Having a special get-together, Bona Pit offers a party room for up to 100 people. Want to watch the big game? Fans can do so on one of our many flat-screen TVs and enjoy $10 domestic bucket specials every Sunday. Bona Pit Grill and Smokehouse in Palos Heights. No one does barbecue better. Hello, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show brought to you by Beggars Pizza. If you're just joining us, our guest this week, Marist Boys Basketball Coach Gino Nolan, a proud 1992 grad. And I had the honor of covering Gino Nolan back in the day, man. That seems like a long time. Well, Gene looks the same. Yeah, I'm sure that those kids try and challenge him. Do your players ever do anything stupid and try challenging you for a little one-on-one, a little horse
No,
riding?
I know better than that because they would. I wouldn't be able to score a point.
I don't know, Gene. I think a game of horse, they might be in a little bit of trouble, man.
No.
You had some range, my man. You had some range shooting the ball. He's being very modest here, folks. All right, so big game Friday, Gene. You got Marion Catholic. You go out to the Heights. Tyler Eulis, Kentucky recruit, one of the greatest players probably in Southland history, without a doubt. Number one team. How would you rate Tyler Eulis, and how much are your kids looking forward to this challenge, man?
It's a great. Obviously, it's a huge challenge, and Marion is really, really good. They're great. He's great. I think their other kids are great players, and I think they play. I think their big thing is just how well they play together. You can tell this is a group of kids that believe in each other. It seems like they've been playing there forever together, and I think when you watch them on film, you can see that aligned. That this is a group of kids that really like each other.
Yeah,
and they play well
team,
together.
Man.
They'll for sure.
No egos.
Absolutely, and I think Tyler is the leader of that. He's one of the most unselfish players I've ever seen. He's an unbelievable scorer. I think he can score anytime he wants to.
Yep.
But he shares the basketball, and he scores, and he leads. And, he's such a tough cover defensively. Trying to guard him on the ball is a really difficult thing. So it's going to take a team defensive approach, but also at the same time identifying who their other scorers are, because they do have them. But I know our kids are looking forward to it. It should be a fun experience for our kids.
So what's the key to pulling this thing off for you? What does your team need to do, other than try and sneak in a sixth man to try and stop Tyler? But what's the key to this?
Well, defensively trying to contain him and also identify their other kids who can score it. And then offensively, we're going to have to make shots. They're not an easy team to score against. I think they really guard. They switch screens periodically, which always poses problems for offensive teams. And they'll throw some different looks at you, so we have to understand what's in front of us, attack it accordingly. And I think, as far as the backboard goes, we're going to need to get at least 55 to 60% of the rebounds. And that's not an easy thing to do against them because they are athletic and they do rebound well.
Yep, they crash the boards. They're aggressive, man.
Do.
All right, so when you look ahead at this sectional, which Marist is hosting, congratulations on that. What are your impressions when you see this field, man?
Well, obviously it's really, really good. I think it's really, really good at the top. I also think it's really balanced. I think it's good from top to bottom.
Yep.
Where sometimes you see sectionals that are consistently good, and then ones that are good just at the top, and then I think this one has a little bit of everything. So, with teams of Whitney Young and Curie and, St. Rita and Simeon and many, many more that are having really, really good seasons, it's a great sectional. We always tell our kids this. worry about the things that you can control.
Yeah.
We can control having a great practice today. So we're going to do everything we can to make that happen. And as far as who's in our sectional, where the sectional is, whatever it is, to not worry about that. And if we worry about having a great practice, then we'll be able to compete in those types of games and in those sectionals. And, so I think it's going to be exciting, for all the teams that are playing in it. Great teams and certainly a lot of great players also.
A lot of tradition with a lot of those teams, but
Yes.
it is just unbelievable when you look at the list of teams. And you could have potentially Curie, Whitney Young, they got two of the greatest players, in the country.
Definitely, yeah.
With Alexander and Okafor. So now, when you played at Marist, there was only 2 classes, Gene. Now there's 4. Now you see this, we're just talking about, the sectional and how loaded it is, and this is what 4 classes.
Right.
I mean, I tell people this all the time that are complaining, oh, it's so tough, it's so tough. I'm like, what do you think it was like when you only had 2
When there's
classes,
2,
man? So
yeah.
what do you prefer? Do you like the 2-class approach or the 4?
I'm kind of indifferent towards it, actually. I think, with 2 it was great. I think with 4 it's still great.
Yep.
So the high school tournament, I think, is just I think in Illinois it has so much tradition. I think it's deep in history, and it's whether it was 2 classes or 4 classes, it was great then. I think it's great now, and I think it'll continue to be great. I think there's always that buzz at the end of a season when you go through a journey together with a group of guys. You've won some, you've lost some, and everything in between.
Yep.
And then when the tournament starts, you're 0-0, and every dream is possible again.
Yep.
And I think that's what's exciting, whether you have 2 or 4 classes.
Yeah, and they're still legit teams. Back when Eddie Curry was at Thornwood, they were the number 1 team, and they lost to Schomburg, and
Right.
that shouldn't have. You
Championship,
looked
yeah.
at a talent standpoint, there was no comparison, but it's you still got to beat some quality
Right.
teams, man. There's no doubt. And then 14 years as head coach here at Marist, how has coaching changed from your standpoint over the years, man?
I think, obviously the kids that you're coaching, the faces change, the people change, the names change. I think kids 14 years ago are the same as they are today. I think deep down, every kid, I think every adult, I'm no different now than I was when I was, 7 years old, and that we have this desire to want to be a part of something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what team sports gives us. And our kids 14 years ago wanted to be a part of that. The kids today want to be a part of it, and I think kids want to be driven, they want to be pushed in all of those things, and kids are great,
Yeah.
no matter what era they're in, and certainly in the last 14 years, that's what I've found, is that really, for as much as we think that they've changed, I think they've really stayed the same, in that they want to be a part of a journey bigger than just an individual accomplishment, and that's what team sports gives them.
Okay. And Marist in general, in terms of the freshmen, sophomores, you like the direction, everything? You're pretty happy with everything?
Absolutely. I love our kids. I love, we've got great community support. I love the coaches that we coach with, got a great staff. This feels like a family.
Yep.
Our program does. The alumni, 14 years worth of that, of guys coming back and speaking to our kids, and that's what I'm most proud of, is the idea that we've been able to create a Marist basketball family, and it's fun to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, Gino, continued success this year, man.
Thanks,
I mean,
Pat.
you got a tough schedule coming up, like we
Yes.
talked about off camera. So good luck the rest of the way with that, man, and good luck Friday. It's going to be a good one. I might be
Thank
there
you.
for that, baby.
Thanks, Pat.
All
As
right,
always,
Gino.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it, my man. All right, folks, we are going to go to an athletics timeout. Get out those cell phones. Time for the Standard Bank text poll question of the week, sponsored by Standard Bank. Chance to win a $50 gift card. All right, folks, we come back. Coach of the week. Hey, let me give this to him right now. G. Nolan, Bona Pit Coach of the Week. Payless Heights, you're the man. You
Thanks,
knock off Rice, you knock off Naz.
Thanks,
you get a nice
appreciate it.
$25
Thank you.
gift card. Go enjoy
Thanks.
that, okay? And all kinds of fun stuff, folks, so stay tuned.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggars Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
Hello, boys. I'm a drop-dead gorgeous pepperoni sausage, hold the vegetables deep dish pizza. Just look at my cheese. Your place or mine. Beggars Pizza. We lay it on thick.
Since 1970, Standard Bank & Trust has been a landmark at the corner of 95th and Western. Now there's a new, state-of-the-art Standard Bank at the same convenient location and better equipped to serve your needs. So stop by and meet our friendly professional staff. They provide personalized service and a wide range of products to help both businesses and individuals reach their financial goals. In the Evergreen Park area and in communities all over Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana, we're your neighborhood bank. Learn more at standardbanks.com. Member FDIC.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggars Pizza. I'd like to give a thank you out to Gino Nolan, Marist boys basketball coach, for being our guest. And before we get to the Standard Bank textbook question, I got to give a shout out to my boy Kyle Warniak. Saw him at Arctic Ice Arena on Friday with his mom Gina. Sustained a little injury. He'll be back in a couple weeks with the Orland Park Vikings hockey club. So good to see him. And make sure you tell your pops to, wax up that IROC from 1988 and let's get that baby on the streets, all right? All right, so good luck to Kyle. All right, Standard Bank textbook question of the week, sponsored by Standard Bank. Here we go, folks. Marist had a pair of highly talented guards last season in Lexus Williams and LJ McIntosh, all right? Which colleges are those two currently at, all right? Playing hoops. Text A for St. Xavier and Lewis. Text B for Michigan State and Ball State, text C for Valparaiso and Texas Pan American, or text D for UIC and Northern Illinois, okay? We're each at one school, all right? Pair it up, A, B, C, D, all right? Text your answer to 708-365-8501. Texter number 4 with the correct response wins a $50 gift card, compliments of our good friends at Standard Bank. All right, results. Marion Catholic took one on the chin a little bit against Stevenson on Saturday, 76-66 for Marion. Tyler Eulis, 18 points, 9 assists. TJ Parham had 16 points, 7 boards. And Ezra Pointer Jones had 8 points for the Spartans. For Stevenson, Jalen Brunson, 32 points, along with Eulis, one of the top point guards in the country. He's only a junior. Connor Cashaw had 20 points, 10 boards, and Matt Johnson had 16 points for Stevenson. Hillcrest 63, Lamont 54 for Hillcrest. Alan Jones 17 points. D'Angelo Isby had 16 points and 6 boards. Tyler Adway had 12 points and 6 boards. For Lamont, Mike Wiz 21 points and 8 rebounds. And then Ethan Chester had 14 points for Lamont. Marist 68, Nazareth 59 for Marist. Shamar Hawkins 17 points. Brian Highland had 14. Jeremiah Ferguson had 10. Kevin Lerma 10 points, 9 boards for the Redhawks. Stag, big win over Joliet Central, 80-66 for Stag. Max Struess, 22 points. Kevin White, 22 points. Jeff Gorel, 18 points. For Joliet Central, Antonio Dyson had 12. William Autumn had 10. Upset here, Argo 81, Richards 77 for Richards. Josh Meyer, 25 points, 11 rebounds. For Argo, Tyler Mitchell, 38 points, getting it done. Brian Smith added a dozen for the Argonauts. In a hockey game I covered on Friday, Providence 5, Bennett 4. Great game. For Bennett, Tom Feldman had a couple goals. Paul Wagner and Connor Coyne had a goal each. For Providence, Rich Usa, Matt Ianchaccio, Jake Dillman, Jordan Ernst, and Ben Brandow all had goals. Celtics are now 19-0-1 in the Catholic League. All right, the Labriola Bakery Cafe Golden Baguette Player of the Week. We're going to give it to Brother Rice wrestler Rudy Yates, a sophomore, won the Catholic League tournament's 113-pound weight class to improve his career mark. 2 years, folks, 69-0. That is something special. Hook him up with a $25 gift card, compliments of Labriola Bakery Cafe in Oak Brook. The Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club Player of the Week, we're going to give it to Tinley Park girls basketball player Caitlin Sudeth. Scored 19 points, pulled down 8 boards during the Titans' 43-35 win over Argo. Hook her up with a nice goodie bag, compliments of Lisa Thomas Salon. The Bona Pit Grill and Smokehouse Coach of the Week, we handed that out to Marist coach Gene Nolan. All right, folks, real quickly, remember, if you're interested in doing some modeling for Lisa Thomas Salon and you're a current customer, high school kid, go to info@lisathomassalon.com. Submit your picture. They may hook you up. All right, we're going to Labrada Bakery Cafe timeout. High and tight. Stay tuned.
Looking for a unique dining experience with incredible food? Then check out Labrada Bakery Cafe. Opened by Rich Labrada, Chicago's premier artisan baker, you know they'll have great bread, but you won't believe the rest of their menu. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizzas, fresh pasta, and their world-famous Richie Burger. There's also homemade gelato and, of course, their famous bread. Labrada Bakery Cafe and Neapolitan Pizzeria, conveniently located in the Oak Brook Promenade.
What teen doesn't want to be in style with the latest trends? What teen doesn't want the hottest cuts at an affordable price? It's time to get noticed with the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club, where girls get a cut and style for just $27 and guys get a cut and style for just $17. Get the right look for the right price at the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club. Your style, perfect style, only at Lisa Thomas Salon.
If you're in the mood for some of the finest barbecue in the Southland, then Bona Pit Grill and Smokehouse in Palos Heights is a place for you and your family. Whether it's ribs, chicken, brisket, pulled pork, or any other barbecue favorites, Bona Pit serves up a flavor explosion in a championship form. We also offer steaks, seafood, sandwiches, a mouth-watering nachos platter, and salads in a casual atmosphere, with the option of either dining inside or on our heated patio. Watch the big game in our full-service bar or call ahead for pickup. Bona Pit in Palos Heights. All right, folks, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggars Pizza. All right, high and tight time. You know, I get constantly asked by student bodies from different schools, you know, who's the best, who has the best student section at basketball games. You know, and there's a lot of good ones out there, man. A lot of good schools. They've raised their game a lot. But as far as I'm concerned, number one, Crusader Crazies at Brother Rice. And number two, Red Hawk Rowdies at Marist. And that was on full display last Tuesday when the two teams played each other. Unbelievable atmosphere, some great digs at each other. Couple below the belt, but you know what? It's Marist Rice. That's going to happen, and it's good times. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed the show. Have a great week. Stay warm. Super Bowl Sunday. Have a blast. Order some Beggars Pizzas. Go to Labrada. Go to Bona Pit. Get some barbecue. Have some fun. We'll see you next week.